another Mr. McDougall coding stream here. I haven't done this one in a while. I'm getting ready to kind of restart coding club here. So I'm doing a little challenge. I just put it out to the group chat here. It's going to be a rock, paper, scissors game. So I'm going to try to make this in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I might have to take a break in the middle to go pick up my daughter, but we'll see how it's going to go here. I actually have not downloaded the new Godot, so I'm going to do that now. I probably should have done that before. It shouldn't take super long though, I think. So I got to get 4.6.1. So also, if you want to follow along here, you can download the new Godot as well. Shouldn't take super long. I also put my son George to sleep here, so I don't know if he's going to stay asleep. He might give us a little surprise. Yeah, so Coding Club round 2 is starting up soon. Looking forward to that. Let me pull up my YouTube as well so I can interact with y'all on the chats if we get any of those. I'm not expecting too much here, but figure it'd be fun anyway. Okay, we got it. Let's rename this to Godot 6.1 or 6.4.1. Okay. And let's bring that over to desktop. Okay, cool. Let's run that. Let's pin this to our keep in dock here. Okay, let's make a new game. I haven't done any 6.4 yet, so it's real. Yes, it's real. So we're gonna call this rock, paper. Usually I try this before I actually do it, but I figure it'd be fun. I haven't used Godot again in probably like 3 months now, so I'll be learning a lot again with you guys here as I try to remember how to do this. Okay. Oh, that's different. The colors are different. Still got my, yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm gonna set up, I like to set up my Godot this way, where I have my, what is this? Oh, I'm gonna signals. Wait, let's put that there. Okay, cool. What are groups? So signals has its own thing now, I guess. Interesting. I wonder if I want to put it there. Okay, they've made a couple changes to the thing here. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so welcome to Rock, Paper, Scissors. My thought of how I'm going to do this is I'm going to have a 2-player Rock, Paper, Scissors game going on where both players will be playing with WASD or arrow keys. And so basically those different buttons will map to if player 1 chooses rock, paper, scissors, if player 2 chooses rock, paper, scissors, and then after a certain timer goes off, those will lock in and then their choices will be revealed. And then the computer will calculate who wins. And then maybe each player has a certain amount of life. And then once the player has run out of lives or out of points or whatever, then the other player wins. So that's the idea of how I want to do this. And I want to make this happen through an object that represents the player. So both players will have an object that represents them, player 1 and player 2. And so that object will be making the decisions. Like right now, that object will have a variable that says current chosen, decision, right? Either rock, paper, or scissors. And then once the timer locks in, there'll be a game manager that collects the information over who has what particular thing chosen, and then issues the verdict over who wins based on their current chosen objects. So as usual, let's start with a world scene. So we'll make a world scene, and we're going to save that. Make our scenes, and make a world folder, and save that right in there. So as always, we're going to start that way. And then what do we need? So let's just start building out what we're probably going to need here. The first thing that we're going to need is we're going to need a player. think that's probably, we'll start with the player. So we're going to do character body 2D. We're going to rename this player. This is going to be a class though. So let's save this. You know what? We'll make this, yeah, we'll just call him player 1 for now. Player 1 for now, and then we'll just duplicate him eventually. I think that's probably easier because we don't need to go super scalability here. We're only making 2 things. So let's save branches scene. We're going to make a player class, save, and then let's go check out that player class. So our player class is going to need to have a sprite. I guess it doesn't really need to be a character body. It can just be, actually this can just be a sprite because we're not really going to, are we going to move this thing? Let's keep it simple for now. I don't think we need to move this thing right now. It'd be kind of funny if they like ran around and slapped each other in the face, but that's a little bit more work than I want to do. So let's change its type to a sprite. So it'll just be maybe an area. Let's give me an area first. So change type to an area 2D. And then it needs to have, so this way we can like click it and stuff. We'll give it a collision shape. And we'll make it circle for now. Cool. So there he is. Let's give him, he'll just have the regular Godot sprite. So that's our guy right there. And we will give it a script. We're going to call this, it's not really player 1. We're actually going to rename this to player. We want to do player 1? Yeah, we'll just do player 1. I'm gonna get in trouble for this later. I'll probably get in trouble for this later. It's okay. We're gonna just make player 1, and then we'll just make player 2, and then we'll just copy player 1. That's the easiest way. So yeah, he'll just have the player 1 script. We are going, because of that, we're not gonna extend as a class name, I think. I'm doing this in a bad way. Yeah, we'll do it. Class player. Okay, we really do want to have a class name. Class name is player, so let's rename this to player. And let's change the script name again to player. Can I rename it here? Rename it here again. Did that work? Okay, cool, it worked. All right, so we're gonna have a class named player. What is our player going to have? Well, he's gonna have a at export var max health, which is an integer. We're gonna just set it for now to equal to 10. At export, no, then he's gonna have his current health, var current health is, we're just gonna set, we'll just leave it as an integer for now. And then on the ready function, we'll set our current health is equal to max health. Okay, that's good. He also needs to have a var current choice. And this is going to be an enum. So var, how do you do enums again? Var, is it enum? I just type enum, choices. And then I think it's these ones. And then rock, paper, and scissors. So you can choose between rock, paper, or scissors. So the current choice can be either rock, paper, or scissors. I think that's good for now. on the process function, we need to change the current choice to be, so let's go into project settings and do an input map. We're going to add a new action. It's going to be player one rock add, and we're going to set that equal to A. Okay. And then we're going to do player one paper. And then we're going to set that equal to S. And then we're going to do player one scissors. And we'll set that equal to D. Okay, cool. All right, so if input dot event dot is action input input dot event action is action just pressed. Hello, who we got? Nathaniel, good to see you. Rock. So if input dot is action just pressed, we are going to then current choice is equal to choices dot paper. Okay, cool. So we're just going to repeat that for all of our possible choices. If input dot is action, it is fun, is action just pressed, and then we're going to do, so we'll do rock, then we'll do current choice is equal to choices dot rock. And then one more, if input dot is action just pressed. Is it scissors here? Yep. So we'll move that to the bottom. There you go. That's logical. Current choice is equal to choices dot scissors. Okay, so this should already be working here, where if we hit the button, it'll change the current choice. So then let's then print out print current choice. Okay, so this should work here. I gotta say, get rid of this guy. Delete. Okay. I'm actually just gonna, yeah, this really should just be player one. No, it really should, it's annoying. I know what I should do. Oh well, it's too late. I'm gonna do this a bad way, guys. We're doing this the bad way. Instantiate child scene. We're going fast. We're breaking things. We got our player here. We'll move him down to where we can see him. We'll play the game. Select current scene. And now if I hit, wait, where's my guy? Oh, there we go. Yep. So now we see, yeah. So 0 is rock, 1 is paper, and 2 is scissors. So we've got our thing going on here. So now we need to change this so that we also have player 2. So let's do it again. I'm gonna do this the really bad way. This is gonna be player 1, and then we are going to make player 2. We're pretty much just gonna copy most of these things, but we're gonna do it. So we're gonna create a new scene. We're gonna do a area D. We're gonna name it player 2. And then we are going to give it a sprite, just like we did before. We're gonna give it texture, only we're gonna modulate the texture. Modulate. We're gonna make it redder. There we go. Gross. And we're gonna give it a collision shape. Cool. All right. And then we're gonna give it a script. Attach script. Player 2 script. We're gonna copy the script that we had earlier. We're gonna give it the class name player 1, and then we're gonna copy this one. We're gonna go player 2. We're going to paste that, and we're going to change it to class name player 2, which you should not do. This is bad. This whole thing is bad. And then we are going to add in the project settings. We're gonna add our new actions for player 2. So player 2 rock is going to be equal to we're gonna say J. So we're gonna do JKL on player 2, and we'll do ASD for player 1. So player 2 scissors, rock, or paper. Okay, and player 2 scissors is going to be equal to L. Okay, cool. Close that. All we need to do now is, I think, change this, and this. And then we're going to print, we're going to change the print. So we're going to say player 2 has chosen, and then current choice. Let's go back here. Player 1 has chosen, and then current choice. Add player, oops. I didn't save it yet. Let's get rid of this guy. Delete. Instantiate child scene. Scenes. Why would it not be bringing in player 2? This might be it. This is maybe where I made some mistakes already. Instantiate child scene. Let's see what happens if I add. Okay, yeah, I can't find it. What happens if I just drag this thing in? Okay, cool. That'll work. Yay. We're going to name this player 1. Player 1 and player 2. Let's rename this to player 1. Okay. So now, when we run this, we should have the ability to change what they choose. Yeah. So now we're seeing that in real time we're updating their choices. Cool. Okay, so we now have the setup where each player can choose rock, paper, or scissors. Now we have to set it up so that they can only do that if the timer is counting down. So let's add a new one. We're going to add in a timer. And let's add in a label as well. Label, and we'll make the timer the parent of this. This is going to be rename game countdown timer, and it's going to be countdown timer label. Okay, let's save that off. Countdown timer. Okay, so our countdown timer, give it a script. Right when, we'll say that it's a 3-second timer. And we'll say when we'll say that when the players press space, for now, that'll set it off. So that'll be good. So let's also drag in our thing here. So let's add in a new, so this will start our timer. We're gonna call it timer start, add, and that's gonna be the space button. Okay, so that'll start the timer. So if is stopped, wait, if not is stopped, if stopped, then we want to keep going. If not is stopped, return. Okay. So what does that mean? It means that if we're not stopped, then we don't want to, yeah, this is correct. So if the timer is running, we don't want to do this next thing. If the timer is not running, then we want to, if input dot is action just pressed, timer start, then we want to start. Cool. And for now, we'll also set an export variable for easy, at export timer game time. Timer. Well, we already have this as a variable to export, so we don't really need to do that. It's fine. This is all correct. We don't need this. Okay. If not is stopped, oh, then we do want to update the label. Label countdown timer label dot text is equal to what? Time left. Okay, that should work. Okay, let's see if that is, okay, it's repeating. But I don't think it's not starting until I hit the spot. Yeah, it's not starting until I hit go. Why is it repeating? It should stop, right? Oh, one shot. Turn on one shot. Cool. There we go. So now let's try that again. So they'll have 3 seconds to choose, and then yeah, it stops. Okay, cool. Then return. Else countdown timer. Actually, we'll start at the beginning by turning off. Yeah, so we'll start off by, if you get this far, then countdown timer. Then you want to turn off the label. So we'll do show. Countdown timer label show. And then we'll start off by doing countdown timer label hide. Okay, so that should hide it if we are not running. Cool. Okay, perfect. Then what we need to do is that once it ends, we need to, yeah, so on the timeout here, timeout, connect to countdown timer label, connect. We want to have, this is where we're gonna start using our signal manager, I believe. Do we need a signal manager here? Yeah, we'll use a signal manager. No, we'll just set this to, again, we're doing a really simple thing. On timeout, we will change we can just check it stopped. On timeout, we will emit I want to do a signal manager. I just can't think about how to do things anymore without signal managers. Node. Rename signal manager. Let's save this off. You're going to notice that eventually I always use signal managers because I think they're the best thing going. Auto load, save, signal manager. So this signal manager is going to have script, and it's going to have signal timer timeout. And we'll also do signal timer begin. Okay, so those will be our signals. Once it is pressed, so if this is pressed, we will also now, we got to put the signal manager in the, well, I got to put it in the auto load, project settings, globals, auto load, signal manager.tscn, add globals. Okay, so there we go. We got our signal manager now. So we're also going to emit our signal manager dot begin and not save it. What are we giving me here? Possible cyclical. I should be fine. Countdown timer. Signal manager dot timer begin dot emit. Okay, that should work. Then we'll go back to our player scripts. We are going to on ready do signal manager dot timer begin dot. Why am I not getting autocomplete? That's worrying. I'm going to probably restart my application here. Let's try that again, see if that fixes stuff. Did they change? Oh yeah, I've got to tell it what. Okay, yeah, it's working now. It's working now. So now we need to on timer begin. This is why you wanted to make one class for this, but that's fine. Func on timer begin, and we'll do, this is a void. We will now turn on can choose equal true. So we will make a new variable, var can choose as a bool is equal to false. Okay, so when the timer begin goes, it will then turn on the ability to choose. So let's bring that over to our other player, because unfortunately I have to duplicate my work now because I'm bad. Can choose bool false. Ready signal manager. Say this is so bad. Dot timer begin dot connect on timer begin, and then same thing, func on timer begin, void function can choose is equal to true. Okay, neat. Then we need, obviously, when the timer timeout, we want to turn off. So on timeout, we're going to do signal manager dot timer timeout dot emit. And then on our players, we also want to turn, so we also want the connect on that, signal manager dot timer timeout dot connect on timer timeout and func on timer timeout void function. It is can choose equal to false. Okay, we'll just copy that and bring that in here too. And same exact thing. Signal manager dot timer timeout dot connect on timer. Okay, cool. All right. So if I did this correctly, then when I hit the space bar, so right now I cannot change. Oh, right now I can change. Oh, I didn't put it in the process function yet. Right. So we need to set in the process function if can choose is equal to false, then return. And print, I'm going to do print here. Print cannot choose. So for now, this should work. This is only going to apply to player 2 right now. So player 1 right now should be able to choose, and player 2 cannot choose until, yes, cool. So right now you'll see that this is working, and now we cannot choose again. So as long as the timer is going, player 2 currently cannot make a choice because the choice is locked in though. So he only has that window to change his choice. Okay, let's take that over then to player 1. Same thing. We'll just do if can choose is equal to false, then return. So right now, if this is true, then we should get no print out, until we, cool, now we have our choices, and then it's locked in. Okay, neat. So let's get rid of our prints here because it's all working. So everything's working so far. This has been pretty nice. Okay, now we need to, when the timer times out, we want to display the choices of each player. So let's do that on the players themselves. So we're going to give them a label. This is going to be the choice label. So this will display what their choice is. And let's bring that in here. Ooh, okay, choice label. On timer timeout, we're also going to display the choice. So choice label dot text is equal to choices, current choice string current choice dot. Okay, it's going to just be a number for now, but that's okay. On timer begin, we're also gonna hide choice label. We'll do we'll also do this choice label dot show, and then we're also going to start a timer here. Timer. It's going to be a child of the choice label. We're going to do no. We'll not make it a child of the choice label. We'll make it a child of the player. We're going to name this. No, it makes sense to be child of the choice label. This is going to be another 3-second timer here. It's going to start right away. And we're going to rename this choice display timer. So on timer timeout, let's connect this to the player. We are going to do choice label dot hide. Okay, cool, nice. And we'll do choice dot start. Okay, so this will display the label for 3 seconds. So it won't. I have no idea where this label is going to be right now. Okay, we're making our choices. Okay, they're right in the middle there. He's got a 0 on his nose, and it disappeared. Perfect. Okay, we got to move that to be a little bit more obvious, but that's good. It's working. Okay, let's move that above his head. So we'll see that, and then let's play that again. So we're going to start the timer, and we should see the number 0. So he's chosen rock. Good. That's great. That's great. Let's go back to our player here. How do you display the keys again? I don't want to have to do a match, but I might have to do a match here. Var, we're going to do var text to display as a string. And we'll do text to display match current choice. We'll do 0. Text to display is equal to rock. If 1, text to display is equal to paper, and 2, text to display is equal to. There's a better way to do that, but what? Oh, it's a capital. Okay, there you go. Otherwise, we'll do you should never see this. Okay. All right, cool. This should work. Let's see if it works. Start timer, hit rock, wait for the timer to time out, see rock. Woo! Okay, cool. Do it again. Set timer, hit paper, hit see paper. Cool, nice. Hit space, hit nothing. You should never. Oh, it keeps paper, of course. So it'll keep the most recent one. That's good. We start with nothing. So if a player clicks nothing, you should see that you should never see this. So let's just start them off with a choice. We're just going to start them off with choices dot rock. So everybody will just start off with rock. That way we don't have any nulls. So if we hit nothing, it'll be rock. Okay, that makes sense. I like that. I think that's just an easy solve to that problem. Okay, so now at the end of the time, they now have locked in their choices. We now need to find the answer to them both. So now we're gonna need a let's get player 2 going in on this one too. So let's just copy that. Player 2. Again, guys, you really shouldn't do things this way. This is bad, but I'm being super lazy. We don't have, oh right, we don't have the choice label yet. Yeah, see, I have to duplicate all my work now because I didn't want to make a class and have to deal with it. Choice label. I gotta wait. And then we need the choice label, choice display timer. We're gonna rename this to choice display timer. Okay, neat. Set up my choice display timer as well as a one shot with 3 seconds. And okay, so now everybody should have this. Start the timer. He's gonna choose. Okay, so we should have rock and rock. Let's move player 2 again. Move the choice label there. Neat. Okay, let's try rock and paper now. Cool. All right, it's working. Now we need the game manager. Add a child node. We need the game manager. Save this guy off. So the game manager is going to be the one who determines who wins. The game manager is, so let's put these guys in groups. We're going to call this player 1 and player 2. Neat. All right, so we got our game manager. Attach the script. Create. On the ready function, why are we not getting, oh yeah, func ready, signal manager dot timer timeout dot connect on timer timeout. So when the game timer times out, we're going to do our big thing. Func on timer timeout. We're going to make a whole bunch of custom functions here. It's the void function. The first one is we are going to check player choices. Okay, so we want to make sure that so check for the player choices. Actually, we're going to do this way. Var player 1 choice is equal to get tree dot get first node in group player 1 var player 1 as class player 1, which is terrible again, is equal to this now. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, so we have our player 1. So now we can find his stuff. Player 1 dot current choice. So we got player 1 dot current choice. Okay, so we just have that now. Great. And let's get player 2. If let's do it really quick. If player 1 is equal to null, return print error. This is very bad if this ever happens. And then let's do it for player 2. Var player 2 is player 2 is equal to get tree dot get first node in group player 2. Cool. If player 2 is equal to null, return print error no player 2. Very bad. Return. Okay, so we got our checks. We have our not player. Okay, we have our checks now. Player 2. So we we'll do it this way. If we're just going to do it in a huge if statement here, I think is the best way to do it. So let's check for result. It's going to be a function. Func check for result. This probably should return something eventually, but for now we'll make it void. We're going to check for result. We're going to input player 1 dot current choice, and we're going to as a choice. Can I not do that? I don't know. And a player 2 dot current choice. Okay, so we're now inputting those. We'll do player 1 choice and player 2 choice. So those are our augments. If player 1 choice is equal to player 2 choice, then we're gonna we're gonna come up in Signal Manager. We're gonna do signal tie round tie signal play round player 1 wins signal round player 2 wins. Okay, so those are the possibilities, possible game outcomes. All right. So if the choices are the same, then we are going to do signal manager dot round tie dot emit. And then we are going to return. What is it? CHO choice. Okay. If player 1 has chosen choice is equal to rock, and if player 2 choice is equal to paper, then signal manager dot who wins in this case? But player, so player 2 wins. Elif. Don't need to return then. So we'll do a bunch of elif statements here. Elif so this is tie condition, win conditions. So if and then elif player 2 choice, it's elif, actually it's just straight up elif player signal manager dot round player 1 wins dot emit. Okay, so that means in this case, it can't be 0, it has to be 2. Else, so in this case, it has to be 2. Okay, cool. So then let's look at all the possibilities of win conditions for player 1 choosing rock. Elif player 1 dot choice is equal to paper. If player 2 dot choice is equal to rock, then signal manager dot player 1 wins dot emit, because in this case player 1 chooses paper and player rock, so that means that paper beats rock and player 1 wins. In this case, player 1 chooses rock and player 2 chooses scissors. So that means that player 1 wins. In this case, player 1 chooses rock and player 2 chooses paper. So player 2 wins. Yep. Okay. Else, the only other possibility here is that player, it must be 2. In this case, player 1 chooses paper and player 2 chooses scissors. Signal manager dot round round player 2 wins dot emit. Okay, and then the only last case, else elif, we'll do it just to be careful, player 1 choice dot, wait, do I have to do dot choice? Player 1, no, I don't need to go dot choice anymore because I'm bringing in this should be fine. Choice is equal to 2 if player 2 choice is equal to 0, then in this case, player 1 chooses scissors and player 2 chooses rock. That means that player 2 wins. Signal manager dot round player 2 wins dot emit. And else, the only other choice is it means that in this case, player 1 chooses scissors and player 2 chooses number 1, paper. So that means that player 1 wins. Signal manager dot round player 1 wins dot emit. Okay, and then else, we're going to send out a tie. Signal manager dot round tie dot emit, and we're going to send out an error. print error. Something went wrong in game logic. Okay. All right. So it sends out the win. We're also going to then, so it's going to do that. Then we're going to connect to signal manager dot round1 dot player wins dot connect. We'll just write for now, we're going to say player on player one wins. Just want to make sure that this is all working. So func on player one wins, void function print player 1-1. Okay, so let's run the game and see if this is working. So just again, let's look through this. When the timer times out, we are then going to collect our players and we're going to pass in their current choices to the check result. It then runs this. If it's a tie, we'll then admit that. So we want to make a condition where player one wins the game, which is going to be, he's going to play rock, other player's going to play scissors. So boop, boop. Rock, paper. Oh, I'm bad. Try that again. Do that again. Pop, pop. Okay, player win one. Yes, it is working. Beautiful. All right, we didn't get the scissors to disappear from player two though, so let's get that. Oh, I didn't connect it yet. That's why. It's a simple one. There we go. That should work now. Run that. Bop, bop. So in this case, rock and scissors, player one wins. Let's try it again. Player one's going to throw paper. Other player's going to throw rock. You should win. Okay, good. And one more. Bop, bop. Scissors and paper. Player one should win. Okay, good. So we've got that set up. Let's get the other conditions checking just to make sure that it's all working. Got round tie dot connect on tie. We're going to do func on tie print tie. And then we'll do one more, which will be the func on player two wins. And we are going to do print player 2-1. Okay, neat. We'll connect to on tie. Yeah. Dot around player 2 wins dot connect on player 2 wins. Okay, we should have all of our possibilities now. So let's just set up a tie. Tie, yep. Do it again. I'm just hitting random buttons now. Player one wins. Okay, let's set up player two wins. So player two is going to run paper, and other one's going to run scissors, rock. Player 2-1. Okay. All of our game logic is working. Again, maybe there's an error somewhere, but it looks pretty good to me right now. Now let's just very quickly set up another. I have to go in 5 minutes. Let me check when. Yes, I have to go in like 5 minutes. Very quickly set up health. So when this happens, the game manager is also going to pass a damage function. So func damage, and we're going to do value, and then current health is minus value, and then check death, func check death if current health is less than or equal to 0, then we are going to signal manager player. What player is this? Player 1. Player 1 or player 2 wins. We'll make it simple. Emit. So they win the whole game if player 1 dies. Signal manager game over. So signal player 1 wins. Signal player 2 wins. Okay, good. So again, we've got our if we're dead, then we are dead. Let's just copy that over, bring it over into our player 2. Boop, boop. Player 1 wins. So we need to do it again. Damage. Func damage value. See, this is so bad. Current health minus value. Okay. Current health minus value. And then we want to do check death. Okay, great. So now we have that. We want our game manager on. We're going to set up a at export var damage for round. Actually, we're going to do it this way. Round var current round is equal to 0. I'll do equal to 1. So 1 is int. And then at the end of the check for result after this, we will do current round plus equals 1. And we are going to do damage to the players. So there we go. So we have that here. We'll do damage. When is this going to run? That's fine. So we're going to do we're going to do it directly here. We'll do player 1.damage. I didn't save it. Player 2.damage is equal to current round. So oh, right. That makes sense. I gotta go really soon. Var player 2 is equal to get as player 2 is equal to get tree dot get first node in group player 2, and then player 2 dot damage at current round. And we'll just copy that. So this is going to do damage to them equal to the round. So the farther the game gets along, the worse it's going to get if you lose. Player 1, player 1, player 1. Okay. And then on our players, we're also going to have a attach. Okay, I have to go now. We're so close to being done, though. I will come back and I will finish this in a little bit. We're almost there. Actually, I'm just going to, yeah, well, can I pause it? You can do, probably not. All right, later, guys.